So I'm going to try to walk through how to build the 8-track mult. So this is the first project that I've put together, designing panels and PCBs, and even though it's a simple thing, so you've got just basically 1 in, 3 out with a bipolar LED times 8, so you can sort of, if you're into your multing and you want to make the most out of, say, Pamela's new workout, this will be quite helpful, I think, because you can really maximize, if you've got 8 outs from Pamela's Pro, then you have 24 outs effectively, so it could be useful. It's not a small module, but it's if you're into this sort of stuff, it could be useful. So I'm not professional, I'm not a designer, so you have to take this as purely a DIY project. I cannot be held responsible for any magic smoke that might appear. So what I'm going to do first is just sort of go through all of my components and try and build out like a bill of materials. Just going to lay it all out on the desk so we can see what we're dealing with, and then we're going to just sort of work through each of the boards one by one, and I'll show you how it's done. Okay, so the first thing we need to identify is the boards that we're going to be using. So these green ones were not right, so we'll just get rid of those straight away. There you go, into recycling. Now for the build, you're going to need one of these, which is the one basically holds all the sockets. So those, we need one of these. This is the front panel that kind of goes above it, like that. And then you're going to need one of these, which is I'm kind of calling it the logic board. That's basically where all the chips go. So the way the overall design is quite simple. On this board, we've got all of our jack sockets. Each jack socket shares a ground. So let me rephrase that. For each pair of rows, a pair of rows will share a common ground. So you get one Thonky Kong, put it in that way. This line here, you put it in the other way. I'll show you in a sec. And that kind of happens on these pairs and these pairs. The only other thing here is we've got an LED and space for a resistor. Now this LED is designed to illuminate this logo. It's not a logo, it's just a word, but you generally want it to be quite bright. So I found that a 1K in R1 is about right, but be aware it does create some light bleed that comes out the side. So what I'm going to explore at some point is a bit of a hack to put some plastic covering here, just so the module next to it doesn't get affected by the blinding light. So that's that, and you can kind of see that's how it lines up like that. And then you've got these rows of pin headers. Now I've made it very clear, hopefully, how these things go. So you've got a shorter row of 32, and you've got a longer row of 40, and they correspond with the 40 and 32, so it kind of goes like that. Silk screen is on the back, and the only other thing on the back is the power header. And now on the logic board itself, you've got your 8 points for your op amps, your IC integrated circuits. Each integrated circuit, TL074, requires positive and negative voltage. So for each pos and neg, you've got a small capacitor just to sort of smooth out that power delivery. Each of the outs require resistors, so you can kind of sort of work through this list down here and associate it with one op amp. So the 3 of the audio outs take 1k resistors, and then the 4th out of each op amp which feeds the LED, that's given a 100k resistor, because otherwise these LEDs on the front panel kind of are a bit blinding. But if you want it brighter, then obviously you can reduce that value from 100 to 50, or if you want it super bright, put in a 1k there. It's up to you. Then the only other thing we've got here is the sort of the power management stuff up here. So we've got 2 Schottky diodes, which are the reverse polarity protection diodes. We've then got 2 larger electrolytic capacitors, which when inserted, and I'll show you, but they need to be kind of bent over, so they kind of lie flat onto the board, not kind of perpendicular. So you've got space here and you've got space here for those. And then you've got just same capacitors, but you've got a couple more capacitors up here just for extra smoothing. And that is it. That's the walkthrough of the build. And now what I'm going to try and do is kind of demonstrate how it all works. Okay, so I think I've got everything. I've got resistors, small caps, electrolytic caps, Schottky diodes, LEDs, chip holders, which I recommend but aren't essential, chips, Donkey Kong jack sockets, which are from China, so I don't know what the quality will be like, but I'm gonna give it a go. Some nuts, no washers though, but we'll try that out, and some pin headers. Now I've only got 40s, so I need 140 and I need 132, so I'm just going to snip this and then we're going to get to work on getting them put onto here. Enough. So this is what we're going to be building. Now the way I did the headers is to put the taller side on the jack sockets and the smaller side on the logic boards. So I think we're going to just emulate that. So we will be pushing it like this and like this. Okay. Now I usually try and keep things as uniform as possible, and I try and do that by kind of marrying them up and yeah, trying to sort of keep things tidy that way. Yep, so yeah, it's just now a case of just getting some solder on these points and yeah, just getting into it. In case you're interested, I'm using 0.8 unleaded solder. Which I think is okay for this. Okay, so we've now got the corners secured, so hopefully they're not going to be going anywhere. There's still some flex, which I'm not sure if you can see, but there is some flex there. So as we go forward, what I might do is start putting some in the middle and just making sure that that is as close to the plastic header as possible. Yeah, same here. So I think I'm just going to start doing some more sort of central joints and then kind of filling in the gaps. So yeah, I think that's good enough. I'm just going to crack on, just do the rest. Okay, I think that is all right. So now we can separate these guys. Okay, so I'm going to work on this board next, and I'm actually going to use this, which is just makes it easier for me just to move things around. So first thing I'm going to do is, where is that header? Get this header on, power header. And you can see the notch there, has to line up with the notch there. Because these have got a bigger heat appetite, I might actually ramp up the temp a bit. .380. And straight away, that makes a big difference. Down to 340. Just add a touch more. Now I'm going to get the resistors in. That's what I'm going to do. So they're mainly 1Ks. These are 1Ks. So let's get those loaded in. Start with 12, and what I'm going to be doing is bending them out like that, and just putting them in here, one at a time. Now I'm just thinking here, it actually might have been better to do these resistors first before the pin headers. But I don't think it matters too much. The 1K is done. I think these are 100Ks, so 8 100Ks. There's 24 1Ks and 8 100Ks. And these are for the LEDs. So again, if you want them brighter, then just lower the value of these hundreds to whatever you want, 50K. So I'm gonna secure these from the top and then flip it over and do the rest. And that's because I don't like bending the legs if I can help it, because that tends to, I just find it a bit messy when you're snipping legs and so they're all like pointing different directions. So indulge my OCD, please, for a second. Smell of burning skin, love it. It's a stupid thing I did there. trying to keep these resistors neat if I can. That is one of the benefits actually for me of doing it top down, is that you've got a better idea of how these guys are lining up, and sometimes when you're soldering from underneath you don't notice that some of these components may have come away from the board a bit, so this just gives you a bit more visual assurance that what you're putting on the board is correct. Cool. So yeah, I mean, trying to solder these ones in here would be difficult from the top down, but now I've got all of one side done. Now I can just move things over, and I think I might just change the alignment slightly. Okay, pretty happy with that. I'm just going to trim these off. So I think I'm going to just do a bit of touching up on a couple of the points that I did from the top, because that's the other downside, excuse the pun, of soldering from the top, is that you can't actually see the quality of your work until you turn it over. So it might look good from the top, but then when you have a look on the other side, maybe it's not as full as you would like. So I'm just going to quickly just go over and reflow some of these. Probably not the most efficient way of doing this, but I kind of like doing it this way. That's just me. Now I think I'm going to tackle this part last, and I'm just going to get into these bits here. So I've got these chip headers that are cheap and a little bit damaged, but they'll work. Just making sure that the notch matches up with the notch on the silk screen. Okay, so I have made a mistake and I've got the wrong size chip headers. Yeah, so all that means is that I'm just going to be putting these directly onto the silk screen, which is fine. Just means if there's an issue, then it's going to be a bit harder to deal with, but I think it's okay. So I'm just going to get all of these loaded on. obviously ensuring that the notch matches up with the notch on the board. Okay, I'm just gonna get these 7 in, then I'm gonna work on that one. I'll swap the board around. Okay, next we want to get the caps in. Okay. Ooh. Man down. Okay, so I'm gonna just tidy this up and then hit the last section and then do the power, and then we're done on this, I think. Cool, right, let's get these top ends done and then we can move on to the next one after having a cup of coffee. Okay, now let's get on with this bit here. So we have two little caps. We've got these Schottky diodes. Obviously, not obviously at all actually. Schottkys have, they're polarized, so you want to make sure that this stripe here matches up with the stripe on the silk screen, so like that, and then the other one is on this side here and that matches up with the line there. So I'll just look these in quickly. Now lastly, the electrolytics. So the positive is the non-coloured bit, and the white area is the negative. And that matches up with the white stripe here, that's negative, and the longer leg is the positive. So shorter leg goes into the white space, or the white quadrant. Now I'm going to do these one at a time because they are not fiddly, but just want to make sure I get them right. So you don't want to push it all the way down into the board. You want to leave a bit of space, and then you want to just kind of adjust it so it's kind of like that. It doesn't have to be exactly on the board, but it just needs to be kind of out of the way of the top deck. And then same here, short leg goes into the white space. This one's a bit tighter. So it's not touching the chip, but it is a bit close. So I'm kind of angling it slightly away. So that should be fine. I'll lock this in. Now I'm going to do a proper job from the underneath side. Now I know that all the bits are in the places where I want them to be. Just make sure you don't start off with the joint you just put in, otherwise they might fall out. It's getting a bit crowded, so I'm just going to take some of these legs off so I can see what I'm doing. So with that, I think we are done with this first board. No, I've missed one. Naughty, naughty. Right, let's get this one loaded in, and then we are done. Just going to do a sort of a weird one-handed job. A weird one-handed job. And now we're done. I will check this. I think the quick glance, it seems all okay, but I'm going to be coming back to it. But for now, I'm going to take a quick break. Okay, so onto the sockets board. So as you can see here, the legs that stick out here, these are the grounds. So what we're going to do is share the ground. So and I'm not going to lie, this can be awkward. Not a particularly fun part of the build for me. So we've got 2 in, and obviously the trick is to make sure that they're really nicely aligned. So I'm going to be kind of going in stages. I haven't quite worked out the best method to do this. It could be that I can get all of these in one go, so I might try and do that. So get all of these loaded in, and then put the top deck on, secure it, and then turn it and solder it. So that's one possible way I could do that. The other thing to think about is we've got these LEDs, which we want to make sure, so we'll just get rid of these for a sec. We want to make sure that these LEDs are landing in the hole nicely. So they're kind of quite proud here. You may want to adjust that. So if you did want to, you could get a piece of cardboard, or even just kind of do something like that, so it's against a flat surface, and then it's kind of, do you want it sticking out, do you want it flush, or as I did with the original build, I was using these 5mm LEDs which kind of sit behind, so you've got this hole in the PCB front layer and then you've got the light underneath, so it's fine. You don't really even notice it when you're looking at it sort of top down, and they're kind of bright enough, so it's not a big deal. So I think use whatever you've got. Also, these ones are unipolar and these LEDs are 3mm bipolar, so should be good for negative and positive signal flow. But I've got to be honest, I haven't actually tested this, so it may not even work. But I know they work on unipolar. So yeah, it could be that there's a couple of stages where we're screwing this on and then off and so on. So so there's that. Then you've got this other LED down here, which again, you can use a bipolar, but I was using just a basic LED, really. 5mm. I was using the same LED that I used for the 8 lines. It's just a basic 5mm LED with a 1K resistor. Like I said earlier, I'm going to try and get something like that to sort of block it off, but that is for another hackaday. So I'm going to have my coffee and then I'm going to get to work. Okay, so we have this, we're good with that. We are now working on the front section. One thing that I've realised I haven't managed well is the silkscreen labelling for the resistors. So I'm going to talk it through and apologise and I'll make sure that in the next review or a version that it is betterly marked. I'll do better. So there are 8 resistors needed for incoming signals, and they're all 100k resistors. So R2, 3, 4, 5, 9, 8, 7, 6 are all 100k. So I'm just going to get those in, as well as the LED for the logo and the 1K resistor for the logo as well, which goes here. So let's get this all underway. So these are my hundreds. Okay, so I think now I'm going to try and tackle the jack sockets, and then I'm going to do the LEDs last, and then we're done. So, like I said earlier, I think I'm going to just try my best to stack them all in, secure them, and do them in one batch. So, yeah. Wish me luck. Okay, so I think they are aligned correctly, but I don't want to spin the deck just yet. I think I'm going to just get this on. Very carefully. Actually, what I'm gonna do, just in case everything is okay, I'm gonna save myself some headache of undoing the front panel again by just dropping in the LEDs so they're ready to go if everything else is good. So the short leg is in the square pad. They're not consistently, I mean, they are in a pattern, but they're not in the same configuration as you go down, so just make sure you're double checking. So I'm just dropping them in for now. There's a big chunky light, so I'm going to stick with green because I like green, but you can use any colour obviously. These are just basic 5mm lights. And again, short leg goes into the square, like so. Right, now let's see if I can get this done the first go. Okay, so hopefully this will go as planned. I think what I'm going to do is just get one of the three locked in and then turn and check before I commit to like too much in one go. Yep, I think that's all good. I'll just get a couple more on just to double check. But that seems to be a pretty reasonable method. So now I just need to finish the sockets, which won't take long, and then figure out what I want to do with the LEDs. And I think in this build, I think I'm just gonna pop them through all the way, be done with it, nice and neat. You can obviously, you know, if you get a piece of tape, put it down there, then that would keep it flush if that's what you wanted. But I'm just gonna go with the with this way. Cool. Okay, so back to it. Now, because the LED legs are gonna kind of get in the way, I'm gonna just get these done. And to do that, I'm gonna use my rack again. So I'm just feeling from underneath that they're all where they need to be. But I'm gonna secure them on one leg only, first pass, turn and check, and if everything's okay, then I'll go back and finish. That's good. Right. So now I'll just go back and finish everything. Not that it's really important at all, but I've tried to use the circular pad for the first pass, just because it's slightly quicker, because there's less pad to heat. So it's just a very, very slightly more efficient process. But I don't think it really matters at all in the big scheme of things. And I'm just reflowing a little bit where it was not perfect first pass. And while I'm here, I may as well just get this LED done. Again, just doing one leg first. Checking on the side. Slight adjustment while you're reflowing. And when you're happy, then you can do the other leg. Now to finish the sockets, and then I believe we are done. Just going to do one last check of everything. trying to give like a bit of a generous dose to the double ground pins, because they're not quite, because they're sharing a space. Sometimes I think you can get some gaps, and if you haven't got enough filler, then sometimes, yeah, you may get issues. Maybe I'm being paranoid, but I'm just trying to I'll do a couple of little reflow dabs just to make sure that all those gaps are definitely filled in. And I'm reflowing the initial securing solder joints as I go as well. Be a bit careful with this area here. This one is very close to this one. I should move it a bit. It's fine though, it's not too bad. And with that, we're done. I just need to get these final securing nuts onto the threads. Just noting the difference there with washers and without. I think it's a personal choice really. I mean, this isn't exactly a high-end module, so if you're damaging the front panel because you're screwing stuff in, then I don't think it really makes much difference. But I guess washers give it a bit more stability and means that you have to retighten nuts as often, hopefully, which probably is going to be the case with this one, unless I add some washers later. I ordered quite a large batch from AliExpress, which are these ones, and they came with these knurled securing nuts but no washers, so just maybe worth checking if you are placing an order whether they're included.
The metaphor is a smoke screen.
Right, so a VPN can change your visible IP address to a private IP address so that that information about where you are or who you are is no longer visible.
That's it. And the flip side of that, of course, is that your internet service provider also can't see your browsing history, so they can't see which websites you're landing on.
As we heard earlier, one place they say that VPN can protect you is